From a one-of-a-kind manual transmission V12 swap that BMW never produced to marketing deceptions that fooled audiences worldwide, the iconic black sedan from the Transporter holds secrets that go far beyond its sleek exterior. This movie car wasn't just a prop. It was an engineering frankencar built specifically to outperform reality, inspired by a BMW commercial series, and loaded with continuity errors that sharp-eyed fans still debate today. Here are 15 weird facts you didn't know about Transporter's 1999 BMW 735i E38. Fact 1. The car never actually existed. When you watch The Transporter and hear Jason Statham's character, Frank Martin, refer to his sleek black sedan as a 1999 BMW 735i, you're actually witnessing one of cinema's most elaborate automotive deceptions. The car that became iconic in the 2002 action film was never a 735i at all. In reality, the hero car driven throughout most of the movie was a BMW 750iL, which came equipped with a massive 5.4-liter V12 engine, producing 322 horsepower. This wasn't just a simple case of mislabeling for dramatic effect. BMW and the filmmakers deliberately created a vehicle that didn't exist in their production lineup. The 735i models that BMW actually sold to customers came with a 3.5-liter V8 engine that produced just 235 horsepower, making it significantly less powerful than what audiences saw tearing through the streets of southern France. The deception went even deeper because the 750iL was BMW's flagship luxury sedan at the time, representing the absolute pinnacle of their engineering capabilities. According to multiple sources, including the film's DVD commentary and automotive journalists who researched the production, this Frankenstein creation was specifically built for the movie to showcase BMW's most powerful engine while marketing their more affordable model. The result was a car that looked like a 735i on the outside, carried the nameplate of a 735i in dialogue, but roared with the heart of a 750iL under the hood. This unique combination made it a vehicle that could never be purchased from any BMW dealership anywhere in the world. Fact 2. One-of-a-kind manual V12 conversion. The BMW featured in the Transporter holds the distinction of being perhaps the rarest 7 Series ever created, not because of its paint color or trim level, but because of what sat between its engine and rear wheels. BMW specially commissioned a one-of-a-kind modification for the film that created the only manual transmission V12 7 Series in the company's entire history. The filmmakers wanted the car to have a manual gearbox for the action sequences because it would allow Jason Statham to perform more dynamic driving maneuvers and create more authentic-looking chase scenes. However, BMW never offered the 750iL with a manual transmission in their production lineup. These luxury sedans came exclusively with a 5-speed automatic transmission because the target customers valued smooth, effortless cruising over spirited manual shifting. To solve this problem, BMW's engineers transplanted a 6-speed manual gearbox from the BMW 850ci, the company's grand touring coupe from the early 1990s. This wasn't a simple bolt-on modification. The engineering team had to custom fabricate mounting points, modify the transmission tunnel, recalibrate the clutch system, and ensure the gearbox could handle the V12's substantial torque output. According to the film's location director and various automotive publications that covered the production, this conversion was performed specifically for the hero car that would be featured in close-up shots and less dangerous driving sequences. The result was a vehicle that combined the refinement of BMW's flagship luxury sedan with the engaging driving dynamics of a manual transmission, creating a car that enthusiasts have dreamed about for decades but could never actually buy. Fact 3. Marketing deception for affordability. Behind the decision to call the movie's BMW a 735i instead of its true 750iL identity lies a calculated marketing strategy that reveals how automotive product placement really works in Hollywood. When BMW agreed to provide vehicles for the Transporter, they faced a fundamental problem. The 750iL that actually powered the hero car carried a sticker price of over $92,000 in 2001, making it far too expensive for most moviegoers to ever consider purchasing. Meanwhile, the 735i, despite being less powerful and prestigious, was significantly more affordable and accessible to a broader range of customers. According to automotive historians and film production sources, BMW specifically requested that the filmmakers refer to the car as a 735i throughout the movie, even though everyone involved knew it was actually their flagship V12 model. This allowed BMW to showcase the performance capabilities of their most powerful engine while associating that performance with a model that middle-class buyers could realistically aspire to own. The strategy worked brilliantly. After the film's release, BMW dealerships reported increased interest in 7 Series models across the board, with the 735i seeing particularly strong sales growth. The deception was so effective that even today, more than 2 decades later, many fans of the movie still believe Frank Martin drove an actual 735i. This marketing sleight of hand demonstrates how automotive manufacturers carefully control their image in films, ensuring that the car's audiences fall in love with on-screen seem attainable in real life, even when the actual vehicle performing those incredible stunts costs nearly 6 figures. Fact X4. Inspired by BMW commercials. The Transporter didn't emerge from a vacuum of original creative thinking. Instead, director and producer Luc Besson openly acknowledged in multiple interviews that the entire film was partially inspired by a series of high-budget commercials that BMW had produced just months before production began. Starting in 2001, BMW launched an innovative marketing campaign called The Hire, which consisted of 8 short films released online featuring actor Clive Owen as a mysterious professional driver who transported dangerous cargo and important people while evading various threats. Each short film was directed by a major Hollywood director, including Ang Lee, Guy Ritchie, John Frankenheimer, and Tony Scott, giving them legitimate cinematic credibility beyond typical car commercials. The series featured Owen driving various BMW models through intense chase sequences and dangerous situations, all while maintaining the cool, professional demeanor of a hired expert. The similarities between the Hire and the Transporter are impossible to ignore. Both feature a skilled driver for hire who operates by strict professional rules. Both showcase BMW vehicles performing incredible driving feats, and both blend Hong Kong-style action choreography with European sophistication. Besson saw the success of the Hire series and recognized that audiences were hungry for a full-length feature film built around the same concept. The main difference was that Besson expanded the runtime from 10 minutes to 90 minutes and added more elaborate fight sequences and a deeper plot involving human trafficking. The Hire series was so influential that it not only inspired the Transporter franchise, but also helped establish the template for countless other driver-focused action films that followed. Fact 5. Wrong year, wrong headlights. One of the most glaring continuity errors in the Transporters exists right from the opening moments and continues throughout the entire film, yet most casual viewers never notice it. The movie explicitly states that Frank Martin's BMW is from 1999, with both dialogue and production notes confirming this year. However, the car actually featured in the film sports pre-facelift headlights and body styling that BMW discontinued in 1998 when they introduced significant updates to the E38 7 Series. During September of 1998, BMW released what they called the Life Cycle Impulse Update, which brought revised styling for both the headlights and taillights, along with the various interior improvements and updated engines. The pre-facelift models, which were produced from 1994 through August of 1998, featured distinctly different headlight assemblies and rear light designs compared to the facelifted versions. Automotive enthusiasts and BMW specialists who have analyzed the film frame by frame confirm that every shot of Frank's car clearly shows the older pre-facelift design elements. This means that if the car truly was from 1999, as stated in the film, it should have featured the updated facelifted styling with the newer headlight design. The discrepancy likely occurred because the production team used whatever E38 7 series they could acquire for filming, and since pre-facelift models were more readily available in the used car market during 2001 when the movie was shot, they ended up with older examples. This created an impossible situation where the stated year and the actual vehicle don't match, making Frank Martin's BMW a car that technically could not exist in the configuration shown on screen. Fact 6. Multiple stunt cars with different interiors. Movie productions rarely use just one vehicle when creating an action film, and the Transporter was no exception, but the production left behind some telltale clues that reveal just how many different BMWs were pressed into service. Eagle-eyed viewers who watch the film carefully have documented that Frank Martin's supposedly singular BMW features 3 distinctly different headrest styles throughout the movie, an impossibility if it were truly the same vehicle in every scene. In some scenes, the front seats display one style of headrest design, while in other sequences, the headrests have a completely different shape and upholstery pattern. This inconsistency reveals that the production used multiple E38 7 series sedans, each with slightly different interior specifications from various model years or trim levels. These variations occurred because BMW produced the E38 from 1994 through 2001, and during that production run, they made numerous interior updates and offered different seat designs depending on whether buyers chose the base model, sport package, or luxury package. When the production team assembled their fleet of stunt cars, they apparently didn't prioritize perfect interior matching since most action sequences wouldn't showcase the seats in detail. The different headrest styles represent just the most obvious continuity error, but careful observers have also noted variations in the wood trim patterns, instrument cluster details, and even the center console design across different scenes. These discrepancies serve as a reminder that major action sequences require multiple identical-looking vehicles to accommodate different types of stunts, camera rigging, and the inevitable destruction that comes with high-octane filmmaking, even if maintaining perfect consistency becomes nearly impossible. Fact 7. Stock 740s for dangerous stunts. While BMW created a one-of-a-kind manual transmission V12 7 series for the hero car that appears in close-up shots and less dangerous driving sequences, the production couldn't risk destroying such a unique and expensive vehicle during the film's most destructive stunts. According to crew members who worked on the film and information shared during DVD commentary, the production team used standard 740i models for the sequences that involved significant destruction or high risk of damage. The 740i was BMW's mid-range 7 Series offering at the time, powered by a 4.4-liter V8 engine producing 282 horsepower. While less powerful than the V12 in the hero car, the 740i was still plenty capable for stunt work, and more importantly, was far more expendable. These standard production 740e models could be purchased used on the secondary market at a fraction of the cost of building another custom V12 manual conversion. The production acquired several 740i sedans specifically for the bridge jump, the gas station explosion, and various collision sequences where the cars would be damaged or destroyed. During the famous opening chase sequence where Frank's BMW jumps from a bridge onto a passing car transporter truck, stunt drivers actually used one of these 740i stunt doubles because the landing posed significant risk of chassis damage or complete destruction. Similarly, when the BMW explodes spectacularly at a gas station later in the film, killing the 2 police officers Frank had trapped in the trunk, the production used an expendable 740i rather than the irreplaceable hero car with its custom manual transmission and V12 engine. Fact 8. ADR M Classic silver wheels became cult icons. Among BMW enthusiasts and fans of the Transporter, one particular detail has achieved unexpected cult status and sparked years of discussion on automotive forums. The stunt cars used throughout the film featured aftermarket wheels from a company called ADR, specifically their M Classic silver design, and these wheels became highly sought after specifically because of their appearance in the movie. The ADR M Classic design features a multi-spoke pattern with a polished silver finish that resembles BMW's own M parallel wheels, but at a more affordable price point. According to enthusiasts who have researched the production and automotive journalists who covered the film's release, the production team chose these aftermarket wheels for several of the stunt cars because they looked appropriately sporty and upscale while being inexpensive enough to replace if damaged during filming. After the movie's release in 2002, BMW forums and enthusiast communities began buzzing with questions about what wheels Frank Martin's car wore. Once enthusiasts identified them as ADR M Classic Silvers, demand for these specific wheels skyrocketed among E38 owners who wanted to recreate the Transporter look on their own 7 Series sedans. Wheel retailers reported increased interest in this particular model, and used examples began commanding premium prices on the secondary market. The phenomenon demonstrates how a relatively minor production detail can take on outsized cultural significance among dedicated fan communities. Even today, more than 20 years after the film's release, online discussions about modifying E38 7 Series still frequently reference the ADR M Classic Silvers as the definitive wheel choice for achieving an authentic Transporter aesthetic, cementing these aftermarket wheels' place in automotive cinema history. Fact 9. European-first technology that blinded everyone. The BMW E38 7 Series that starred in the Transporter represented a genuine technological milestone in automotive history, and the film actually references one of its most controversial innovations directly in the dialogue. When the E38 launched in 1994, it became the first European car to offer both integrated satellite navigation and xenon high-intensity discharge headlights as available equipment. The satellite navigation system, jointly developed by BMW and Philips and called Carent, was revolutionary for its time, providing in-dash GPS guidance years before such technology became commonplace. However, it was the xenon headlights that generated more immediate and visceral reactions from other drivers. These new headlights produced an intensely bright, bluish-white light that offered significantly better visibility for the driver compared to traditional halogen bulbs. The problem was that this intense brightness came at the expense of oncoming traffic, who often found the xenon lights blindingly bright, especially if the headlights weren't properly adjusted or if the self-leveling system malfunctioned. During the Transporter's production, the filmmakers were clearly aware of this controversial feature because they wrote dialogue and scenes that specifically reference how the BMW's headlights affect other drivers. The xenon technology that BMW pioneered with the E38 eventually became standard equipment across the luxury car segment, but those early implementations earned a reputation for being almost aggressive in their brightness. Today, with modern adaptive LED headlights and sophisticated automatic beam adjustment systems, the issue has largely been resolved, but the E38's xenon headlights represented the first generation of this technology, when brightness was prioritized over the comfort of oncoming traffic. Fact 10. Statham performed his own driving stunts before becoming one of Hollywood's most reliable action stars. Jason Statham brought a unique set of skills to the Transporter that made him genuinely qualified to perform the film's most dangerous driving sequences without relying heavily on stunt doubles. According to the film's production notes and multiple interviews with the cast and crew, Statham performed almost all of the driving during the car chase sequences himself, including the spectacular bridge jump scene that opens the movie. Statham's background before acting included competitive diving, which gave him excellent spatial awareness and body control, but more importantly, he developed strong driving skills during his years working various jobs in London. The filmmakers recognized that having their lead actor actually behind the wheel during action sequences would create more authentic-looking scenes because they could film his face during dangerous maneuvers without needing to cut to obvious stunt doubles. Director Louis Leterrier and action coordinator Corey Ewan worked closely with Statham to choreograph driving sequences that pushed the actor's abilities while maintaining safety. During the famous opening chase where Frank Martin drives bank robbers away from pursuing police, Statham performed the high-speed driving through narrow European streets, the precise handbrake turns, and even the climactic jump from a bridge onto a passing car transport trailer. For the most dangerous moments of that jump, where the car launches off the bridge and lands on the moving truck, stunt drivers did handle the actual flying leap, but Statham performed all the driving leading up to and immediately after those specific moments. This commitment to practical stunt work helped establish Statham's reputation as an action star who could genuinely perform the feats his characters claimed to possess. Fact 11. The V12 engine shared with Rolls-Royce. The 5.4-liter V12 engine that powered the hero BMW in the Transporter carried a prestigious pedigree that extended well beyond Munich's borders. This particular engine, which produced 322 horsepower, was the exact same power plant that BMW supplied to Rolls-Royce for their luxury vehicles during this period. BMW had acquired the Rolls-Royce Motor Cars brand in 1998, and while the transition to full BMW ownership and production wouldn't be completed until 2003, BMW was already supplying engines to Rolls-Royce during the E38's production run. The Rolls-Royce Silver Seraph, which was produced from 1998 through 2002, used this BMW-sourced V12 as its power source. This meant that when Frank Martin pressed the accelerator in the Transporter, he was unleashing the same refined and powerful engine that Rolls-Royce owners paid well over $200,000 to experience in their stately sedans. The engine featured BMW's Vanos variable valve timing system and an aluminum block construction that kept weight reasonable despite the 12-cylinder configuration. This shared engine program represented BMW's strategy of maximizing their investment in expensive engine development by using the same power plants across multiple luxury brands within their corporate family. For the film's purposes, this connection added an extra layer of prestige and engineering excellence to the already impressive BMW 7 Series, even though most moviegoers had no idea they were watching an engine with such royal connections at work. The V12's smooth power delivery and substantial torque output made it ideal for the film's mix of dramatic acceleration scenes and high-speed cruising shots through the French countryside. Factor 12. Dialogue. Written as product placement. Product placement in movies usually involves simply showing a brand's logo or having characters use recognizable products, but BMW's involvement in the Transporter went much deeper into the actual script itself. During one of the film's chase sequences, Jason Statham's character Frank Martin makes a very specific and oddly technical comment about the dampening capabilities of the 7 Series shocks, praising the suspension's ability to maintain control during aggressive driving. This wasn't organic dialogue that emerged naturally from the character or story. According to production sources and automotive journalists who analyzed BMW's marketing strategy, this specific line was marketing copy written directly into the script at BMW's request. The automaker wanted to ensure that audiences didn't just see the 7 Series performing incredible stunts, but also heard explicit verbal confirmation of the engineering excellence that made those stunts possible. The line about shock dampening serves no real purpose for character development or plot advancement. Frank Martin has no reason to verbally comment on his car's suspension performance in the middle of a life-threatening chase. The dialogue exists solely to plant a specific technical selling point about BMW's suspension technology directly into viewers' minds. This represents a sophisticated form of product placement where the brand's key selling points become part of the actual spoken dialogue rather than just visual background elements. BMW's marketing team understood that having an action hero explicitly praise a technical feature during an exciting sequence would be far more memorable and persuasive than simply showing the car driving well. The strategy worked so effectively that similar explicit technical product placement has become increasingly common in action films featuring automotive manufacturers as partners. Fact 13. 2 policemen died in the trunk. Among the darker plot points in the Transporter that often gets overlooked in discussions of the film's action sequences is the grim fate of 2 French police officers who made the mistake of investigating Frank Martin's suspicious activity. Earlier in the movie, when Frank stops his BMW and discovers that his package contains a bound and gagged woman named Lai, 2 police officers spot them during this compromising moment. Rather than attempting to explain the situation or flee, Frank knocks both officers unconscious and ties them up, then loads their unconscious bodies into the trunk of his 7 Series before continuing his delivery. Frank completes his job and drops off the package, but his client Wall Street Betancourt has other plans. Betancourt hires Frank to transport what appears to be a simple briefcase, which Frank accepts without knowing its contents. That briefcase contains a bomb, which Betancourt has planted in order to eliminate Frank and tie up loose ends. The bomb detonates while Frank's BMW is parked at a gas station, creating a spectacular explosion that destroys the vehicle completely. The film makes it clear through dialogue and investigation scenes afterward that the 2 police officers who Frank had knocked out and imprisoned in the trunk earlier were still there when the bomb exploded, meaning they died in the blast. This detail adds a considerably darker element to the film's plot, as Frank inadvertently caused the deaths of 2 innocent police officers who were simply doing their jobs. The subplot serves to raise the stakes and give Frank additional motivation for seeking revenge against Betancourt. But it also creates an uncomfortable moral dimension where the protagonist bears some responsibility for the deaths of law enforcement officers. Fact 14. Continuity error with replacement wheel. Movie productions inevitably create continuity errors during the chaos of filming multiple scenes over weeks or months, but the Transporter features one particularly obvious mistake that automotive enthusiasts spotted immediately. During a sequence where Frank Martin's BMW suffers a flat tire, viewers watch as Frank removes the damaged wheel and replaces it with a spare or different wheel that features a distinctly non-standard alloy design. The replacement wheel clearly doesn't match the other 3 wheels on the car, creating an asymmetrical appearance that any BMW owner would find jarring. However, in the very next scene, when the camera shows Frank driving away or in subsequent shots of the car, the original matching wheel has mysteriously returned to its proper position, restoring the car's symmetrical appearance. This continuity error likely resulted from the production using multiple BMW vehicles for different scenes, as discussed earlier. The car that filmed the tire change sequence probably had mismatched wheels due to previous stunt damage or parts availability, while the car used for the following driving scenes had all 4 original matching wheels intact. The editing team either didn't notice the discrepancy or couldn't fix it because they needed footage from both vehicles to complete the sequence. For most casual viewers watching the film for its action and plot, this wheel inconsistency passes completely unnoticed. However, for car enthusiasts and detail-oriented viewers who watch the film multiple times, the magically reappearing wheel serves as an obvious reminder of the practical realities of action movie production, where maintaining perfect continuity across multiple stunt vehicles and shooting days becomes nearly impossible, despite everyone's best efforts. Fact 15. The detective can't remember the model. The Transporter includes a moment of dialogue that seems like a simple mistake by a forgetful character, but actually serves as a clever meta-commentary on the car's confusing true identity. During an early scene in the film, French police inspector Tarconi, played by François Berliand, discusses Frank Martin's vehicle and refers to it as a 1999 black BMW 735. Frank immediately corrects him, stating that the car is actually a 735, not a 765. Inspector Tarconi responds that he cannot keep track of it all anymore, acknowledging his confusion about BMW's model designations. This exchange appears to be simple comic relief about an older detective struggling with automotive nomenclature, but it carries additional layers of meaning when you understand the car's real specifications. First, BMW never made a 765 model designation during the E38's production run, making Tarconi's statement completely fictional and adding to the confusion. Second, as we know from earlier facts, the car isn't actually a 735 either, but rather a 750iL, masquerading as the more affordable model. Frank's correction to 735 is itself a deception, whether intentional or not. Third, Tarconi's admission that he cannot keep track anymore feels like the filmmakers winking at knowledgeable viewers who recognize that nothing about this car's identity is straightforward. The screenwriters created this dialogue exchange knowing that automotive enthusiasts would catch the multiple layers of incorrect and contradictory information, turning what could have been a simple throwaway line into a subtle joke about the car's impossible and confusing specifications that existed only for the movie's production. For the movie's production. For the movie's production. For the movie's production.